was quite profound, actually. I like that. It's good. Neall, do you have a couple poems, or one, or two? Maybe just...
Because we're into short stories, and remember we did the short story at the other store a year ago about.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want to do the same story, but I want to read the first chapter of the next story.
Okay. So how long is it then?
10 minutes at most.
Okay.
Are we good with that?
Yeah, we're good with that. And then we're going and then we'll finish.
And Neall, what's the name of your story? Oh.
Well, the short story is To the Other Side. The first story that I read at your place a year ago is From the Other Side.
Oh, so this is To the Other Side?
And so the last chapter of this From the Other Side, which is the name of my book when it finally gets printed. From the Other Side, the last chapter is one sentence. And it's about a soul being born, and the signification that the soul has entered the body is the first breath. So this is the last paragraph, the last sentence of From the Other Side. Chapter 2. The doctor held the newborn up by his ankles so as to clear his airways of amniotic fluid. At that moment, the baby, having been rudely extracted from its warm, nurturing inner sanctum, shuddered and inhaled his first breath. And then To the Other Side.
Oh, To the Other Side.
So, and it's the From the Other Side and To the Other Side is separated by 60 poems about life, about living. But To the Other Side, chapter 1. This ancient, used-up body that for nearly a century has carried him from experience to experience, from adventure to adventure, was about to expire. From his bed, he looked towards the sunshine and the trees just outside the window. He thought, I'm going to miss this. I think this time I have bought the farm, he whispered. What farm? She asked. He coughed a small, dry cough. The one you're going to bury me under. He coughed again. His cough was soft, as it had no strength in it. His remaining life energy was quickly dissipating. After a pause to take a breath, he continued, What do you think this is all about? He struggled to lift his head to see her more clearly. She moved her chair closer to the bed. Oh, what is about? You mean life? He stopped struggling and let his head fall back on the pillow. He closed his eyes and spoke. It seems to me my life was a waste. What are we creating with this insanity we call life? There was no nice defined goal, no purpose. It has been said life is full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He struggled to find the energy to keep breathing. Shakespeare, she paused. It's from Macbeth. Damn it. I'm as near to dying as one can get, and in spite of my lifelong efforts to find a reason for this life, I still don't understand why we are here, why we are born. What is it of value? We are not takers. We are takers, not givers. He went to wave his hand in a sweeping gesture, but couldn't. He could think, but his body was reluctant to contribute to the conversation. I thought you believed the purpose in life was to add experience you gained in life to the knowledge of the universe. She urged, I remember you talking about adding your experiences in order to expand consciousness, the consciousness of the universe. You saw it as important work, and you certainly had a life filled with experiences. I think you should be proud. But why? Seems to me life is... He broke off. She waited, watching his chest for signs of breath. She had been here every day since his last attack, and every day she noticed his breath was getting more and more shallow. The energy that sustained his body was failing. He's had a good life, she thought to herself. Now it's time to pay the ferryman to take him across the river. I guess death is a fair price to pay for a chance to have a life. Barely audible, he wheezed a waste and took another breath. He never heard her supportive words. His mind had drifted off from the conversation and turned inward. He wondered to himself, is there really such a thing as a death rattle? He hadn't noticed yet the gradual increasing sound of wind that grew steadily louder. Oblivious to the increasing roar, he wondered, is there a death rattle? Will I hear it when I croak? He had very much listened to the spiritual teacher known as Abraham, and he very much liked her disrespectful reference to dying as croaking. He liked the word croak. It seemed to take the sting out of the notion of death. The train of thought was ended by the distracting effort it took to take the next breath. His breath was so shallow, he wondered if he'd taken it yet. He hadn't. He had taken his last breath. And then the adventure continues. And just because I write a lot of stuff about life and emotions and so forth, I just wanted to just one short little comment. I often ponder the deeper questions of life. For example, what information are they leaving each other in P-mail as the dogs walk by? What could it be that they share? I imagine name, rank, and serial numbers is about all the information you can get into 1 or 2 shots of pee. How many years would how many years would life have to live to be as old as a dog? We all know people's age and dogs' years. Are the numbers interchangeable? Thank you. Well, it was just that I've started writing other poems than the heavy ones that I love so much. So